Hello and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. I am Zarkoon, and today I've got a video for you on German battleships, or one German battleship in particular, in the current meta. That battleship is the Scharnhorst, and by the current meta I'm talking about cruisers. There seem to be, at least from my observations, which take them for what they're worth, there seem to be a lot more cruisers per battle, per game, than there ever have been before. And that is nice to see, in a way. It means, there's not just battleships versus destroyers in every game. It's a little bit more balanced with all the cruisers that are popping into games. But it's also not great for battleship players, and I am mainly a battleship player. I have every battleship in the game now. All the tech tree battleships, and not all of the premium battleships, but a whole lot of them. So I like to play my battleships, and more cruisers means more HE spam, which is what I want to mitigate when I'm in a battleship now. And since the Soviet cruisers, which everybody seems to be playing right now, are great HE spammers, I'm going to talk about how the commander builds could counter that. So let's go over Henry J. Hyde, and then I will show you a pretty damn good battle in the Scharnhorst after that. So, of course, Hyde's base trait is Wrenchman Extraordinaire, and that increases the maximum HP by a percentage. So that's nice. I mean, more HP is not going to hurt you. It means more HP for those fires that get set on you to burn. What I don't think you should choose, especially on the German battleships, is Flammable Cannoneer. On either Hyde or Hipper, the risk of catching fire is increased to 13% with this skill, and that is not good. That's going to mean you're taking a lot more fires as you play games, and while the extra range on the battleship's main guns is nice, and the extra precision is nice, you can still get pretty good precision without this. You probably can't get the best range without this, but you really don't need that extra range in German battleships specifically, because the accuracy of their guns is, well, it leaves a lot to be desired. So instead I have gone with Brawler, because I want to increase the offensive capabilities of my Scharnhorst as much as possible, and having faster reloading guns, and increased torpedo detectability range definitely does that. Alternatively, you could go for a good day's work, but personally I want the faster reloading guns, so I've gone with Brawler. Second, Alidad. That changes the ricochet angles of your battleship's AP shells, meaning I believe they can penetrate more steeply angled targets, which is nice. I don't think you want to go with gyrating drill bits in this case. Sure, the extra AP shell damage is nice, and the traverse speed of the guns is nice, but I don't think you want to reduce the maximum battleship speed, especially if you're playing battle cruisers like the Scharnhorst or Gneisenau, or even the Tirpitz or the Bismarck. I don't think either of those ships are going to benefit from reduced maximum speed. That is a nice tool to have in your wheelhouse for those ships, so I don't think you want to cut it down. Also, I don't think you want to use Porcupine, because I don't think the secondaries are that effective, and even though these German battleships are generally brawler-type ships, you're going to be getting close, and if you're going to be getting close, you're probably going to be in range, or in secondary range anyway. No point in increasing it, in my opinion. Not purposely, anyway. If you're going to use Hipper, fine, but I wouldn't go with the Porcupine skill. Third, Marksmanship tightens up the dispersion of the main battery at the cost of rudder shift time. I don't want to put more rudder shift time on these German battleships, but I want more accuracy, so this is a trade I'm willing to make. Finally, Master Mechanic to increase the amount of HP recovered by the repair party consumable and add another repair party consumable. Eventually, I would like to get Hyde to level 16, so that I can have 5 repair party consumables, that would be fantastic. So eventually I'll get there, but I have other concerns for my promotion orders. You can see I have a ton of insignias lying around, 16 of them. So it wouldn't really hurt me that much to bump up one commander to 16, and the one commander I'd like to do that to is Hyde here. Inspirations for Hyde: Andrew Cunningham to increase the precision of the battleship's main guns. This is extremely helpful. I would not go without him on a German battleship build. And Robert Jaujard to increase the battleship's AP shell penetration. I'm not sure. It feels to me, at least, like the German battleships don't have great AP shell penetration relative to the other battleships in other nations in the game, so Jaujard, I believe, is a good choice. Alright, well, now that that's out of the way, we'll jump into the game, and I will show you what I think is a pretty damn good and pretty entertaining Scharnhorst battle. Alright, let's go. Okay, so we're going to be on Trap in domination mode, and we're going to be in the Tier 6 premium German battleship Scharnhorst, a great ship of mine. Last time I looked at it were in my 2 Scharnhorst Kraken videos. This game is not going to be a Kraken, but I'm going to get a lot of kills. And I think in that video I was using HE quite a bit. I have decided that maybe that's not that great of an idea, and I'm using a lot more AP now, having pretty good results with it, despite the fact that the Scharnhorst has tiny little guns for a battleship, only 11-inch guns, 283 millimeters. Doesn't mean they can't absolutely punch through cruisers and broadside battleships. They certainly can, and we will see some of that as we get into the game. Now we have spawned here to, I don't know, the south of the Charlie Cap. What I want to do is take a little bit more of a centralized position. I am turning left, and I am heading more toward Bravo. The rest of my team is doing, I don't know exactly what, but that's okay. Scharnhorst is a very tanky ship, and it can take an awful lot of damage. What those destroyers are doing out there, I am not sure. It is my opinion that they should be going into the Alpha Cap and trying to secure at least one cap for our team. It is unfortunate that both of them spawned on exactly the same flank, and that both of them are not going out, not spotting, not trying to take capture points. That is not what you want to do in a destroyer, my opinion anyway. Oh, look at what we've got here though. Is that 2 Tier 4 ships, a Kongo and a Königsberg? I believe it is. Seems like they fail divisioned right up into a Tier 6 game. How sad for them. So obviously, Tier 4 targets, nice and juicy. Those are the ones I want to go for. There's the Königsberg. Looks like the rest of my team has the same idea, lining up a shot. This is with the Brawler perk, of course, and with those inspirations. One of those shells hits, actually 2 of them hit, and I get a Citadel and an incapacitation. So not a bad way to start things off. 8,800 damage, not catastrophic. Had more of those shells hit, that Königsberg would probably be sinking. But does it really matter? Doesn't look like it really matters because those shells are way more on target. There he goes. Goodbye, first blood. And we've got the Kongo out there now. So he's pretty far away, but he's presenting nice broadside. So we're going to keep AP loaded. He's not even aiming his guns at us, and that's fine. But of course we notice that there is a battleship to our port side. It is a Nagato, who for whatever reason decided to fire HE right into my exposed broadside. Lucky break for me, unlucky for him. He has started a fire. I don't want to put it out because, you know, I'm not going to waste my damage control this early on. Oh, and it looks like we have a Colorado. So Nagato and Colorado. Perhaps not a great situation to find myself in, but I'm going to point my bow at them. Scharnhorst has excellent armor when it is angled or when it is bow on, and looks like I probably bounced quite a few shells from that Colorado, who is correctly shooting AP at me, although one did penetrate through the superstructure deck armor for minimal AP penetration damage. 2 more shells come in my way. Looks like that one shattered or bounced, didn't do anything to me. Nagato is still firing HE at me. I guess it's well known that these German battleships are susceptible to fires and HE shell damage, but I don't know. I can tell you what you don't want to do is turn broadside to the Scharnhorst when it is firing AP at you from such a close range. Considering launching my torpedoes on the port side of my ship, but do I really need to? I honestly don't think so. This Colorado seems content to give me broadside. Unfortunately, that hit does not produce the damage numbers that I want to see, and, you know, not great for me. I'm reduced to half health here, and I've already burned 1 heal, but the Colorado continues to give broadside. 5 shells hit, 5 shells penetrate. They do 7,000 damage, which is exactly how much HP he has left, and he goes down. 2 kills, 51,000 damage. Nothing to write home about, but we've got a destroyer here, a friendly one, on our left flank, and that makes me a little bit less worried about where the enemy destroyers are going to be. They are not going to be on my left flank. I am not spotted. I'm going to come around this island and attack this Nagato, who I hope is still going to continue to shoot HE at me, especially at such a close range. I can probably torp him and finish him off. Unfortunately, he is sailing away, but he is giving an awful lot of broadside. His guns are not pointed at me, so we smack him for 8k there. Not bad. Other battleships probably would have done a whole lot more damage, but, you know, the Scharnhorst is more like Death of a Thousand Cuts, not really going to get those big knockout hits on battleships. Now, unfortunately, I have noticed that there is a destroyer right there, and it is a Fubuki, so that's bad news for me. Looks like he's already launched 1 set of torpedoes, another one is coming for me. I have been able to regain a significant amount of HP. This is going to reduce my gains, have to pop the damage control due to the flooding, and I am now switching to HE because I want to kill this guy immediately. I believe he has used all of his torpedoes against me, and only 1 hit. Speaking of 1 torpedo hit, I score a single torpedo hit on the Nagato. Not a good day for him. Gonna launch these torpedoes in a wide spread here, probably, I mean, not necessary, they're not gonna hit that. Fubuki, he's turned away. Did smack him pretty good with the HE shells, and we're over 100,000 damage right now. Fubuki is about to go down, thanks to a teammate. I was kind of hoping for a close quarters expert kill, but no. Had I gotten a close quarters expert kill there, I would have gotten a Kraken in this game, but, you know, what can you do? Anyway, Congo right in front of me, and here is where I make a mistake. Notice what shell type I still have loaded. HE. Pump it right into his broadside for minimal effect. Luckily, all 3 torpedoes smack him, and they reduce his health significantly. And you would think I would have noticed that I had HE loaded. I did not notice that, and I take a shot like right for the Citadel there. Gets 6 penetrations, but of course they're all HE. I did start a fire, luckily, so I guess that's a nice benefit, but had I had the AP loaded, that guy would have been gone, and I am still firing HE. What am I doing here? Alright, let this be a lesson to you guys. Pay attention to the shells you have loaded, because if you have the wrong shell loaded at the right time, you are not going to do as much damage as you could have done. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. Anyway, Nagato is in my sights now. He is, you know, he's on pretty low health, so we're gonna fire off the HE at him. I think at this point I realize I've had HE loaded, and that is why I was unable to take down the Congo. So had I been able to take down this Congo, again, this would have been a Kraken. There would have been 2 kills there if I'd gotten the secondary hit on that Fubuki, taken him out, and if I'd had AP loaded and taken the Kongo out, I'd be up to, 6 kills right now, but I'm not. I'm up to 3 kills, and that's fine. There are only 3 ships left on the enemy team. One of them is a Belfast, one of those pesky HE spamming cruisers. Luckily, I do not have flammable cannoneer, so his chance of lighting a fire on me is not as high as it would have been if I were using an accuracy build, which I understand some people like to use on the Scharnhorst. They like to use flammable cannoneer. I really don't know what the benefit of having these guns shoot 19 kilometers is, because that's what I get with Hyde if I use flammable cannoneer. I have a range of 19 kilometers. What is the point? These guns are not that accurate, and at that kind of range, their penetration is massively reduced. So I disagree with the flammable cannoneer thing. Belfast turning broadside, big mistake, last one he's gonna make, because we pop him for a Citadel and take him down. 4 kills. There's only 1 ship left on the enemy team, and unfortunately it is HMS Hood on the very other side of the map. And while the Scharnhorst is fast, I think HMS Hood is a little bit faster. And since he's on the other side of the map, and I don't have the best gun range you could ever hope to have, I am not going to hit him. So that is how this game is going to end, with 168,924 damage, and of course I only have 15,000 health left. That is okay. Again, with these battleships, you kind of want to be up there in the fray. You kind of want to be attracting shots from the enemy team, so they're not shooting at the more vulnerable members of your team, like the cruisers, for example, who absolutely cannot withstand, barrage after barrage of fire the way that a battleship can. So, take that for what it's worth. We'll just cut to the end results now so you can see that, because there's no point in watching me sail across the map to not even get shots on that half-health Hood out there. Besides, you're going to want to see all the medals I get and the XP and all that, so let's skip now. So here we go, battle has ended. Not a bad game, 4 kills. Could have been a Kraken if we'd been a little luckier, but even though it wasn't, we did 168,924 damage, got the Dreadnought, Confederate, First Blood, and high caliber medals. That is excellent. As for the team results, 3,300 base XP, fantastic result, and I think we made about 600,000 silver, so that's nice. Well, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time.